Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel, bro, I lift up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just another lesson through the spirit. I'm just kind of piggybacking off several brothers' video, going into this technology, this mark of the beast, okay, aka the RFID chip. I know several brothers, including the elder Apostle Tahar, have done landbacks off this video, and I wanted to just put my spiritual 2 cents in it, just to kind of add to the spirit. But it's just an article, is straightforward, dealing with Neuralink. As we know, neuro means brain, okay? So Neuralink, meaning linking the mind to digital or to computer technology, or you're linking the mind to the World Wide Web. Okay, a digital print, so to speak, digital footprint. As you have what they call the IoT, the Internet of Things, which, the men of the Great Millstone, we've been heavily on this topic. Just foregoing and ongoing since we came on YouTube. We've been speaking on this prophecy being manifest, and now it's looking like through the spirit that this is getting ready to be a real thing. Okay. And there's a lot of division on this prophecy, because you got men in this thing that don't seem to agree with the fact that they're going to actually line people up and put microchips in people in order to get them to sustain themselves in society. Okay, we've been telling you for a long time that there's going to be some type of attack or some type of emergency implementation for people to accept this microchip. And what are the main chances of people needing this in the brains due to some type of neurological disorders? Okay, so it says thousands of people are reportedly lining up to have a portion of their skull removed and one of Elon Musk's brain chips implanted, which, Neuralink, Elon Musk, this is not the only the only company that's been practicing this ordeal. Okay, you've had VeriChip, you've had different companies, man, that went online years ago that was testing this particular technology in people. Okay, I remember going back into 2015, 2016 of reading about alleged human trials. I remember the University of Kansas, I believe it was like in 2016 or 2017, that they were testing out the brain chip on their particular patients, because a lot of times they have these studies, and I don't know if they still really advertise them on the TV like that, but oftentimes they'll say, well, look, we'll pay for your room and board, and you could get compensated up to $5,000 if you want to participate in this particular study for research purposes. And they've been doing this with the Neuralink for a while, so this is not the first time, but this is pretty much one of the first times that they're going mainstream with this topic, okay, which is according to Revelation 13 and 16, which we know that by heart. But it reads here, it says thousands of people have expressed interest in receiving one of Neuralink's brain implants. A recent Bloomberg report from Elon Musk biographers, Ashley Van, says, okay, now the fact that they're going mainstream with it, okay, first you may have had a trial here and a trial there, article here, article there, and people talking about it, but overall, this is getting ready to go mainstream because they have the technology readily available, okay, hence smart cities. But it says Vance, who said he visited Neuralink's facilities 10 times in 3 years, so 3 years going back to 2020, this has been in talks for a while, but it says the company had yet to implant its device in a human, but aimed to operate on 11 people next year and more than 22,000 by 2030, which I pray to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that this doesn't make to 2030, man. Okay, we don't have we don't have the time to wait out another 7 years, 8 years, but Lord's will, we be out of here in a few short months, okay, because just the way that the war is going, the way that the economic crash is coming, people they're gonna opt in like through emergency parameters, just like they did with the the Icky Vicky back in 2020, 2021. Under emergency orders, they was able to accelerate these particular potions to people when they was in that trial experiment. So therefore, they can do the same thing with the MOTB. But it says earlier this year, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave Neuralink, which Musk co-founded Salakia in 2016, approval to launch human trials of his device that Musk has described as a Fitbit for your skull. Now, let's look up Fitbit. All right. Fitbit, right? And we know what a Fitbit is, but just for edification's sakes, let's get a more definitive definition. It's basically like even with your Apple Watch, it's basically, it tracks your blood pressure, it tracks, how many calories you can burn. It's basically for exercise purposes. If you took your 10,000 steps a day, all right, like most cell phones, if you have a smartphone or a smartwatch, most of them have Fitbits built into them. Okay, like on my iWatch, it's a built-in Fitbit because it's able to tell me how many beats per minute my heart is. If my blood pressure is high, it lets me know if I took 10,000 steps. If I'm doing rigorous exercise, it would tell me, oh, congratulations, you've made it through your workout, because it's programmed into the algorithm. Okay, so basically when you have this technology in your mind being linked up to a smart device, which the chip will be the ultimate smart device, which will be compatible with your home entertainment systems, with your vehicles, with your Bluetooth, with your Wi-Fi, with your cell phones, and with 5G overall. Basically, you're it's almost like something supernatural. Okay, if that make any sense. And that's a good selling point, because the average human, they want to know what it's like to merge man and machine, man. Okay, they showed you that in that movie Terminator, Total Recall, when people had the ability to kind of like merge man with machine. Terminator, The Matrix, they showed you these things. So this is not far-fetched. But it says here, the FDA, which you shouldn't trust them at all, because they approve of 95% of the things that they approve should not be approved. Okay, and what I'm finding out about this particular administration is that they pass things on a good faith cause, meaning that we have good rapport with this corporation. Let's go ahead and pass it for profitable sake. Okay, they don't have, they supposed to have what they call scientists or people that test the product. But a lot of times, man, they just say, you know what? We have a connection with this through family or whatever ties they may have, and they decide to pass it. They don't care about the rigorous effects. Give them a disclaimer and put the side effects on the paperwork, and then there you go. Use at your own risk is basically what it is. But it says the FDA has previously rejected Neuralink's bid for human testing in March over safety concerns. Yeah, right. Routers reported, including that the wires connected to the brain chip could move within the subject's head, or that the chip could overheat. Now they want to be humanitarians, right? Which they don't give a shit, man. It just wasn't time for the Lord to bring this out. Okay. But it says in September, the company began recruiting for this first human trial. But Neuralink said in a blog post that it was looking for people who had paralysis in all four limbs because of spinal cord injuries, or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, man. Okay. And we could look that up, because these particular illnesses, these particular pains in the body, this is a selling point. Okay. Because the average person, they don't like to be in any type of pain and discomfort. And by us living in Babylon, 95% of your life is full of discomfort, whether it be some type of irritating in the gut, or you may have migraines, you may have arthritis, all these things from a high inflammatory diet. There's going to be some inflammation in the body, and the average person just learns to deal with it. But if they come with the remedy for these particular sicknesses, then people are going to hop on it, man. And it really sells itself. Okay. But it says a form of ALS. Okay. When you go into sclerosis, meaning inflammation of the spine, muscles, and joints, to the point, like if you have that in your back, sometimes you get so to the point you become a paraplegic, man. And it says, and the company says it hopes to eventually make a device that will create a sort of symbiosis between humans and machines, and would allow people to send messages or play games using only their thoughts. Okay, which is power on the left-hand side. It says, but first, the company says it hopes to help people with neurological disorders, which is the ultimate selling point. But it says Vance, who authored the 2015 biography, Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the quest for the fantastic future, said in his report that despite an outpouring of interest from thousands of prospective patients, the company was still looking for its first volunteer, or someone willing to have a chunk of their skull removed by a surgeon, so a large robot can insert a series of electrodes and super thin wires into the brain. So I knew they were speaking about it in 2015. Just couldn't recall from where, but they're bringing it out here. And a good indicator of that is watching that movie Upgrade. But basically it was a chip that they put in his spine called STEM, which gave him supernatural abilities, man. Okay, here by day he was proposing as a paraplegic man in a wheelchair that can barely move, but by night he's like a full-on android, man. But it reads, Musk's biographer said it would take a couple of hours for a surgeon to perform what is called craniosectomy, and then about 25 minutes for the robot to insert the device, along with its ultra-thin array of about 64 threads. It says, he said that this device would replace the portion of the skull that had been removed, but Vance added that the threads were about 1/14 of a width of a single strand of human hair, man. And that's some left-hand sorcery right there, okay? Because that's a highly volatile surgery, man. Okay, because we know that a lot of times brain surgeries, they have like a 50 to 60% failure rate, just depending on, you know, the surgery you get. Like if you got brain cancer, it's 9 times out of 10 you can succumb from that. But it says Vance wrote that Neuralink has done 155 implantation surgeries using the robot on a variety of animal test subjects, including pigs and monkeys. But he said in a typical Musk fashion, the billionaire had continued to push for the robot to move faster, as well as for the surgery to be performed without human help. Shit. It says a spokesperson for Neuralink did not respond to a request for a comment ahead of the publication, but the biographer said that Musk had pointed to the need to combat competition from other brain computer startups such as Synchron and Onward, which had already begun human trials. So there we go. It says they're currently kicking our ass after this, Synchron implant its first device in a U.S. patient in July 22. Which was last year. It says in December 2021, one of Synchron's patients in Australia was the first person to send a tweet using his thoughts, man. It says Vance quoted the billionaire saying Neuralink needed to pick up his pace like the world is coming to an end. Wow, that's spiritual, to keep up with artificial intelligence and the possibility of AI being that will be friendly to humans, man. Yeah, what Musk's maniacal sense of urgency may work at Tesla SpaceX, he has initiated sprints and slept on the factory floor to meet deadlines. So basically, they got to get this thing up and running, man. Okay? Key point he made was the world is getting ready to end. So they have to accelerate this. Okay? And we know how proud Esau is. He likes to, he's very competitive, okay? Like during the time of the 60s, you had what they call the space race or space wars, when basically they had to fabricate a moon landing in order to so-called outdo Russia, man. Okay, because allegedly Russia was the first one to come up with the technology, but then America was like, well, you know what? I believe they was the first one to put a satellite up there. So America was like, you know what? We just gonna fake a moon landing, and here we go. So yeah, man, they're getting ready to do this thing quick, as he stated. And you're gonna have a lot of Jakes that's gonna opt in to get this to get this surgery, man. Because when you look at a lot of Jakes are in wheelchairs, they're paraplegic. A lot of them suffer from neurological disorders. And it's a big mess, man. So it's not going to be nothing for a Jake to get this, because this system is going to revolve around your very life, man. From the way you insert your keys into your apartment, okay, to the fact that you're starting up your vehicle, to going to work, man, to even a gym facility, grocery stores. It's all going to be required to have that MOTB. And this is the reason why when you look at these new apartments or these new lofts, a lot of them are dealing with smart technology, because they're basically like smart homes. Smart appliances, you know, from refrigerators to stoves to microwaves, you know, to the point you're going to have a freaking smart couch that's going to be able to take your temperature, man, when you sit on it. So, but anyway, this is the book of Isaiah 5:20. It says, woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, man. Okay. And that's the point. They're going to sell this as a good thing. This is going to be the ultimate savior to humanity and people with mental illnesses. As America, that's one of the biggest sicknesses out of cancer, if not the biggest sickness here in Babylon the Great, is mental illness, which a lot of times go unaddressed, man. Okay, because hey, this is the culture. When you look at the way that people behave and the things that they do and the lively styles or the livelihoods that they live, and wanting to ginger switch from one thing to the next, that's a form of mental illness, which is demonic, just basically a demonic possession. But it says, woe unto him that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Okay? So that's the point, man. Esau is wise in his own eyes because he's playing the Most High. All right? And going to the part that they want to accelerate this thing, we know that according to the scriptures, Revelation 12:12, they have a short time. Okay? Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Okay, so going back to the article, it reads, it says, but he said, in typical Musk fashion, the billionaire had continued to push for the robot to move faster, as well as for the surgery to be performed without human help. All right, and going down here, it says Vance quoted the billionaire saying Neuralink needed to pick up its pace, like the world is coming to an end, to keep up with artificial intelligence and the possibility of AI being that wouldn't be friendly to humans. And they're shooting themselves in the foot. And one thing I'm noticing about Esau is that he always digs himself in a hole. And then he depends on everybody else's misery to get him out of it, man. Okay, because this devil is not smart. Let's face it, he's a smart dummy, but he's not wise, okay? He's wise to do evil, but it's a formula that they use. It's not that they're just some mad scientists. No, they have a formula that they use. And the people are stupid enough to fall for it every time, okay? So that's why it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is coming down and you having great wrath because he have but a short time. So this is what we're seeing out of these miracles, man. Okay, because the fact that a person can hook themselves up to a computer monitor or play a video game telepathically, that's spiritual power on the left-hand side. Okay, that's a miracle. Okay, Revelation 13:13, it says, and he doth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven in the earth on the side of men, going into his nuclear technology. Okay, the Bosnia bombings. Okay, the what they called, what are those things called? They're called, the DEF, I think, wait, direct energy, direct energy something, man. DEWs, direct energy weapons, man. That's a form of fire coming down from heaven, as we saw what happened in Maui. But it says, and deceiveth them that dwelleth on the earth by the means of those miracles, okay? And that's a miracle. Making a person that was been told, oh, well, you're never going to walk again, being able to walk, that's a miracle, man. Okay? Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. And he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should not speak, and calls that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy and sell, said if he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, man. Okay, and this is going to be a mandated thing. Okay, if you want to partake in society, you got to see hipped up. And the way that this banking system is falling, this is likely, man, that this is literally, or this is a very likely chance that this is the next major prophecy. It ain't no likely this will be the next major prophecy. Because while all this tension in the Middle East, a dollar collapse can accelerate this technology being put out on the quote-unquote emergency orders, man. Because they have it already ready, but in order to sell people on it, they have to do another emergency. And they got to scare the shit out of people. Okay, because they realizing that people is not going to fall for the okie doke like with the you-know-what in 2020. So now they have to take it up another notch, man. Either you going to take it or we going to force it on you at gunpoint. And most people, you know, let's face it, they're going to fold under fear. All right, Revelation 16, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon men, which had the mark of the beast, and which them that worshipped his image, man, okay? Because we know that this comes with the cancerous sore. Okay, like when you go into this word sore, let's look it up real quick. Oh, shit, this is not the blue letter. But when you go into that word sore, it goes into like a canker, or almost like a boil, okay? But let's look it up real quick, then we can head out. But the word sore goes into okos, which means a wound producing a discharge or a sore or pus or euchler, okay? And this is the result of it. A peptic euchler is a break in the inner lining of the stomach. First is a part of the small intestine, or sometimes the lower esophagus. It says a euchler can be a stomach. It's called a gastric euchler, which one in the first part of the intestines. It says the most common symptom of a duodenal euchler are waking at night with upper abdominal pain and upper abdominal pain that improves with eating. Okay, and we know that euchlers can cause cancer, man. Okay, they can cause cancer, and we know that this micro C-hip has known to cause cancer in patients that received it. Remember, a lady brought out a testimony years ago that I believe she had like some type of infection, like in her lower extremities, due to this micro C-hip being, I think it was like a, what was like the birth control plan, or it was like an actual C-hip they put down there, to the point if she drove past a tower or a cell phone radiates particular signals, it would just inflame her whole lower extremities, man, which causes cancer down the line. So, hey, this is going to be the new thing, man. And this is going to be the immediate prophecy. And once this happens, a lot of you Israelites out there that doubted the men of the Lord of the great millstone, you're going to be wisely confounded in that day. All right, but hey, I'm going to end it here, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you will edify it to the next lesson. Shalom.